Everyone, today I'll be reviewing new Netflix movie I am thinking of ending things starring Jesse Buckley and Jess Plemons, and this movie is directed by Charlie Kaufman. And I had no plan watching this movie, but I see everywhere critics are raving about this movie, and this movie is so good and probably next Oscar nominated movie, or it will get nominated for Oscar or something. And so I decided to check this out last night. If you don't know, this movie is about Jessie Buckley. Her character name is uh, initially this movie was a young girl, and her name is Lucy, and her boyfriend is played by Jess Plemons. So Jessie Buckley, her character is kind of thinking to end things with him, like they are been dating for 2 months, and like she's thinking to end things as the name of this movie. And but he invites her to go to like his mom dad farm in a rural area. So he kind of invites her to go there, and she kind of says yes to go, and they go on a road trip. And this movie is kind of like a road trip movie, but lot more to it. What do I think about this movie? I see a lot of people didn't like this movie, but a lot of people are praising this movie as usual. Where do I stand? I thought this movie is not straightforward to I'm gonna say, oh, it's a garbage movie, because this movie has amazing looking sets. And their acting is so good, especially from the lead actor Jessie Buckley and Jess Plemons, and Toni Collette. She's amazing, obviously. And this movie does became very interesting. Middle part of this movie was quite interesting. Once she goes to his parents' home, I thought that part of this movie was quite interesting. And but beginning first 20 minutes of this movie, unbearably, oh my god, it's so boring. You're just sitting there, you're thinking to yourself, why I'm watching this? They're just talking back and forth in the car, and the dialogue they're saying, you don't understand what they're saying. Doesn't make any sense at first, of course. And the dialogues are really awful in this movie. This movie has probably the director thinking, if I put this kind of dialogue, this movie will be smart and sophisticated. People will not understand, and this movie will get praise from the critic, which it did get. But when you are normal people are watching this like me, and I'm just sitting there, what they're saying doesn't make any sense. And as I said, I would tune out of this movie until they reach the farmhouse. After that, it got really interesting, like those middle part of this movie. And as I said, the sets were really amazing looking. This movie has this horror feel to it. Like when I'm watching it, especially halfway, this movie felt like it's gonna be like horror movie or something. I was just sitting there waiting something horrible happen. But this movie is not that. It's not about that. It's not a horror movie. Although some people said it's a horror. No, it's not a horror movie. What is it about? I'll tell you in the end of this video. I'm almost done my review, but so that's why, yeah, as I say, I didn't like this movie, but I do admire these two lead actors, their acting, and I don't know what this director trying to do here. I see a lot of people admire his work, Charlie Kaufman. I never have seen any of his movie, so I'm not familiar with his work, so I can't tell you that I'm his fan. I'm just someone never seen any of his movie, just watching this movie for the first time. I thought this movie was kind of awful for me. I don't know what critics are liking it. Critics are liking, as I said, sets were amazing, acting some amazing. The way that he directs this movie does feel like it's a really great story. But at the end of this movie, you're just sitting there like, what the heck? It's not that great. But what now I'm gonna be in spoiler territory. What is this movie? This movie is basically about, so I didn't understand what this movie was about when I watched this movie. I had to go on YouTube and watch Definition. There's one channel on YouTube. I watched his video. He explained what this movie is about. So I understand based on his video that the Jessie Buckley character is actually imaginary girlfriend for Jess Plemons. In his mind, he's just thinking about this this person, Jessie Buckley, who's quite similar to him, and like you can see throughout the movie there is a hint like she's quite like she understand him, and like as I said, beginning of this movie, I was like, what is she doing here? She's gonna end things with him. So yeah, this movie is basically about that. That's what I understood. Not by watching this movie, by definition, explanation. That's so funny. Do I recommend this movie for anybody to watch? I don't really recommend this movie to anybody to watch. If someone want to watch, they can definitely, but I don't recommend watching this movie. That was my thought on this movie. If I had to give star, I will give maybe 1.5 star. It's not that bad, obviously, but like also cinematography was amazing for this movie. Anyway, that was my thought on this movie. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my review, don't forget to subscribe and please take care.